It is literally the biggest stress of my entire life because thin hair problems, when the light shines through one side of my hair, makes that side look like not equal, not as thick. Problems, but we're just gonna, you know, just pretend it's not there. Just pretend it's not happening, but I can see it and it's gonna bother me. See if I kind of like move over here. You can kind of see a difference. All right, back to the video. Okay, what did I just do? Oh my goodness. Okay. Hi guys, did you miss me? Like seriously, I mean, it's been a while, but let's not talk about it. We're back, okay? Sorry, I'm sick. Oh, I'm gonna be all video. Okay, now I kind of wanted to start getting in some kind of themes and start some new series for my channel. So the first one that I'm going to reveal. Okay, the first one I'm going to tell you guys about is one that I'm planning on calling Which is Better, where I basically take two kind of products or things in the natural hair community. For now, it's only going to be hair related, and kind of go through, I guess, the ways that they are compared and come to the conclusion of which is better. That's the name. Before I start, I want to tell you guys one thing, that disclaimer, this is all my opinion. Of course, you don't have to agree with me, you don't gotta follow what I follow, you don't gotta believe what I believe. It's just kind of my opinion at the end of the day, and if you disagree, leave me a comment down below. Just let me know what your opinion is. If you maybe have a point that I didn't, I guess, bring up, then bring that down below. Of course, we want to help everyone out. And another thing, if you also have another kind of idea, or you're interested in seeing something else of which is better, then you can leave that down below and I will totally check them out. So now let's start with the first episode of Which is Better. So the first one that I'm going to be doing is finger detangling versus detangling with a detangling tool. And of course, finger detangling, being more specific, is when you use your fingers to detangle your hair. You can do this many different ways. So you can either just kind of take a section of your hair and kind of rake through it, or some people, I've seen some people kind of take each piece and then literally pick each piece apart to find knots and stuff like that. Now, of course, detangling tools are where you use something like a comb or a brush of some sort to do that detangling job. I don't have a Denman brush, but it's a great example of something that naturals use to detangle their hair. I, however, do have another one that a lot of people use, which is the Tangle Teaser. I bought this in the States for $10 US dollars. I haven't been able to find it anywhere else in Canada, in Toronto to be more specific. They have kind of knockoffs of the Tangle Teaser, or there's also a another type of brush that's kind of the same. It's black. I can't remember the name. I'll probably put it somewhere here. Of course, you can use like just the plain old wide tooth comb. So I'm gonna kind of just go through the specs of each and kind of, I guess, say why people are for or against each thing. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the price. The side that wins for this is obviously finger detangling, because I mean, your hands are free, right? So that's easy. You don't have to go out and buy a product, and yeah, you got hands. Well, most of us have hands, so that works. And like I said, the Tangle Teaser is $10. I believe the Denman brush is also $10. Wide tooth combs can be a variety of prices. So yeah, so of course, free beats any sort of cost. So also another thing that they compare is the speed of detangling. So I'm gonna have to say that since I use both, or I have in the past, definitely the detangling tool wins by far. I know I'm a kind of person that gets really, I don't know, annoyed and tired pretty easily when I'm detangling my hair, and I just know that the Tangle Teaser gets through my hair a lot quicker than finger detangling. Another thing that people compare is how well it detangles, and I think that really depends on the person, depends on the process. Of course, if you finger detangle and you take more time to do it, it'll do the same kind of job. But I just find that, like, with not necessarily wide tooth combs, but like the Denman brush and the Tangle Teaser, because there are so many bristles, more bristles than you have fingers, it is more thorough in a sense, so it does the job a little bit quicker. Another thing that I want to that people also talk about is how much hair you lose, or how much shed hair you get. Not breakage, shed hair, which means that it's not basically ripping or breaking your hair, it's just coming out naturally. Now, as you know, people say you're supposed to shed about 80 to 100 strands a day. However, a lot of people shed more and a lot of people shed less, so that's completely bogus. Let's not focus on that, but let's just see kind of like the pattern of how much hair you lose. What I like to do is I like to detangle my hair however I'm detangling it, and then roll it into a tight ball, because of course your hair will be more dense and come back, and you'll be able to compare more accurately the balls of hair rather than just like a clump of hair. And so what I noticed is that, to be quite honest, I get a bigger ball of hair when I use a detangling tool as opposed to when I finger detangle. However, hear me out, okay? Because our hair is curly, the strands get tangled, and so even if we shed hair, it's still trapped in this ball of fluff we got on our heads, right? However, since the detangling tool is more thorough, it's going to loosen up that shed hair a lot easier and a lot more accurately or fully than using your fingers are, because of course detangling tools are more dense in a sense, so they can kind of get in between each strand, rather than our fingers are kind of just doing like a wide sweep. And so although I get more hair when I use a detangling tool, it could either mean one of two things. One, that it is ripping out more hair, or not ripping, but getting out more hair in a sense, or being, I guess, more harsh. Or it could just mean that it is more thorough to release the shed hair from my head, rather than my fingers, in which, even though I don't get as much hair, a lot of it is still left, and so just staying there for the next time that I have to detangle, thus creating more knots. I'm not going to say everyone in the natural hair community, but a lot of naturals and curly hair girls kind of go for the finger detangling because they have this belief, or it's been said, that detangling tools rip out your hair. And I kind of want to discuss that a little bit and kind of really, I guess, debunk that myth in a sense. So I will use the Tangle Teaser as an example, okay? So it's kind of dirty, I got a little bit of hair in it. As you can see, there are a lot of bristles, and the bristles are soft, okay? So it's not as bad as like a hard comb or something like that, where it just kind of rips through your hair with no mercy. Which is obviously a pro. However, I want to note the number of bristles and the kind of flexibility of them. Same kind of idea with the Denman brush. When you think about your hand, you only have 5 fingers, or 6 or 7 or 2, whatever, but you have a limited amount of fingers. Obviously you wouldn't have like 1,000 fingers like the bristles of one of those detangling tools. So when you go through your hair and you are raking through, the energy, or I guess the pressure of your hair, your fingers on your hair, is only distributed 5 ways, which means that you're going to put a lot more pressure on your hair in those key areas. And in a sense, that can, I guess, be a little bit damaging, depending especially on the rate of which you detangle your hair and the knots. So basically, if you have, ooh, almost took my earring out, and we're back. If you have a lot of knots, or you're going very quickly, you're not going to be doing like your hair any good, maybe more even damage, because all of the pressure is only distributed in 5 key spots, about. However, if you have a Tangle Teaser or something like this with a lot of bristles, the energy and the pressure is going to be distributed way more evenly and farther across your hair. So in a sense, it puts less pressure on your hair strands, thus, I guess, as I would argue, less breakage. Not only will it kind of help with the detangling process, but kind of prevent you from ripping through your hair. I guess the big argument for why people like to finger detangle is because you can feel the knots. So in that sense, it is, I guess, better because, of course, you'll feel the pulling with a tangle teaser, a detangling tool, but not as well as you can feel the knots with your hand. So in the end with this, I guess it's not really a winner or a loser. It's more of what you prefer. Would you rather take time, or would you rather get it over with quicker as possible? I want to also note that you can't rip through your hair with a detangling tool either. You obviously want to take your time and of course detangle in sections. It is so much easier to detangle your hair in sections, and of course you never really want to, I guess in my opinion, you never really want to detangle in dry hair or wet hair with nothing, like no product in it or no slip. You definitely want to load your hair with conditioner regardless of what method you use. In a sense, I don't want people to be afraid or shy away from detangling tools like this or the Denman brush or whatever kind of detangling tool you want to use. It's more about how you use it. Like, I can get less breakage from this and more breakage from my hands. In fact, I don't want to seem biased, but I do find that I get more breakage when I use my hands just because I am so rough with it and more, I guess, eager to get it done and get it out of the way. Now I kind of want to talk about what I do to my hair, which one I prefer, and I have to say both. If I really had to choose one, I would kind of choose the detangling tools just because of how easy it is. I do use them for different things. I like to use a detangling tool once a week just to kind of get the majority of the shed hair out and just kind of give a nice detangle. And then during the week, if I ever have to or want to detangle my hair again, I will use my fingers just to kind of give my hair a break and kind of alternate between the two. Also, when I do wash and goes, I shingle my hair. So in a sense, that is kind of like finger detangling. So I'd have to say both. I use them for different things at different times, but both are just fine. I mean, there's no necessarily right or wrong way to detangle your hair. It just depends on how you like to do it and what's best for you. Don't follow anybody else. Just kind of try both and decide which one you like better. Okay, so my battery is going to die. I'm very stressed. But thank you guys so much for watching. Alright guys, so my battery is gonna die. I'm so sorry, I have to go now. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you find anything else that you want to compare, you want me to compare, leave it down below in the comments and I will totally take a look at it. Also, if you have a different opinion than mine, or you have kind of a, I guess, an argument that I didn't bring up, then leave that down below too, and I would love to look at it. Of course, this whole thing is about education and helping everyone out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs me up, and bye.